All right, so it happens to be way back Wednesday, going on Throwback Thursday, Flashback Friday, whatever you want to call it in the past. Technically, I wanted to do this on Tavian Tuesday. It's your boy Bo Tayvian. As you can see, your mom's favorite hero. Yes, all of them. Also known as the Blue Chip, because I was made for this. Yeah, that's a lot of names. But here we are 15 years later. I am on what I call version 3.0. 2004, 2005, I was a rookie. That would be version 1. After that, call version 2 the non-wrestling Bo Tayvian. And now here we are on version 3.0. And I might be interrupted already. So, COVID is abound. Doesn't mean you can't work out. Yes, there's ways to work out. Doesn't mean you can't study tape. Yes, there's ways to study tape. What am I about? Why am I coming back? Interesting question. I think it's once you are a worker, it never leaves you. Part of why I wanted to do it is as a kid, I always grew up kind of idolizing and wanting to be a professional wrestler. I think that's why most of us get into it because we're passionate. I don't think most of us do it just for the thrills of jumping off the roof and doing backyard stuff, hurting ourselves, etc. Actually, I frown upon that. I'm very much all about getting properly trained. And thus, I'm back training in that manner, knocking the ring rust off. I am affiliated currently with CCW, the great Pablo Marquez, and the gentleman in that facility, which is great. 15 years ago, yes, I am older than I look, or maybe I just look old. Assume what you want. I will name drop a few names. Originally, I had visited, I'm from Tampa, so I had visited Steve Kern, Hard Knocks, a few times, spoke to them, didn't come to terms, was referred to his protege Lex Lovett and Roderick Strong. So that's where I got my start, and that's about it for the name dropping. Was totally green, still am totally green, if you want to call it that. In that time, I'm not certain I got the respect of everybody as far as work goes. Certainly physique-wise, and then also how I try to treat people. I don't think too many people could have a bad thing to say about me in that regard. Ring work, we're all learning, and that's the fact of the matter. Still green. I think you're always green for quite a few years, to be honest. And it just takes time, proper tutelage and training, and that's why how it came about. I had kind of always watched wrestling off and on after I left the industry, but not with the same passion, not with the same vigor that a lot of you fanatics do. And I just got busy. Got into bodybuilding, got into training, working on physical appearances, working on the mind, always studying, always researching, and that doesn't parlay. So basically, kind of also was almost paralyzed in one of my matches as a rookie, and at that time I was finishing up my college degree, and I just decided, hey, this is not for me. Let me go the route with the brain and protect myself. What you guys will get a lot of times from me is a shoot. Wrestling terms, that means the absolute truth. Or opinion on it. Sometimes I will work, meaning I'll say something sarcastic or totally given up, not true thing just to get some reactions. Because after all, you're here for entertainment. This is sports entertainment. I will probably break the fourth wall, as they say, every once in a while. Refer to people as the real names. I'm not trying to expose the industry, but we all pretty much know where it stands after the 90s. And actually, I do think there is intrigue to learning everything about the sports entertainment industry. Some of you grizzled veterans, older veterans, might not agree with all of my views. never here to really argue per se, but I will always be open to intellectual discussion on the industry, your opinions, why you feel a certain way versus why I feel a certain way. So let's have at it. 2004, 2005, at that time, the only way we built our brand was MySpace, LiveJournal. Some of you younger cats have no idea what those are. You have no idea who Tom is in your top 8. So others of you are like, oh yeah, I built my top 8 and I cycled you through it, etc. Yeah. I used to write blogs about training, all that stuff. Now we can do video blogs. In fact, we used to have a guy, T-shirt Mike, film stuff, convert it from his camera to VHS. So all my matches from my rookie year are on VHS. That is how old, 15 years ago. Now I look forward to being able to interact with you guys here, go live sometimes, go on YouTube. Feel free to comment, tell your moms to also comment. That way we can really get it going. You know, everybody's supposed to love me when I'm a face. Face is good guy. And if I go arrogant and talk about your mom's too much, maybe she died, I, as a heel, have to be insensitive to that. And that's fine. I'll visit her at her grave. Ooh, see what I did there? Got that look. Some things won't be nice. Some things will be nice. It's a work. It's a shoot. You'll never know. As long as you're entertained, that's what this is about. The comeback is about interaction, building a brand, the Bo Tayvian brand, and kind of just entertaining through these vignettes, vlogs. Obviously, the ring work is very important. Picking up some tips, working hard, and at the end of the day, sacrificing the body for entertainment. Which goes against the grain on some things as you age and you're looking into anti-aging and living longer. It's not good. But I willfully do that because there's a certain adrenaline rush. There's a certain intrigue to finding out what the body can and can't do. There's a certain physicality that all of us as workers that we just can't get enough of. That maybe it's an outlet, maybe it's something you feel at home doing, and it's not something that the real world can bring you oftentimes unless you play sports, and that's the truth of it. What is the end goal? I'm not actually certain on that. I get asked that a lot. I think it is literally to approach it in a way better, more intelligent manner. Yeah. We're going to have interruptions, which I asked not to, as I cut some of these promos. She just dropped the blender, which is an important part of the nutrition plan. For you workers not working on your bodies during this time, I have no idea what you're doing. You need to take this serious. So back to my approach. When I was a rookie at 22 years old, I got by a little bit on my looks and being the nice guy. And learning as I went. Now I'm in a more cerebral approach, studying way more, talking to way more veterans. I don't know if the bodybuilding and just being a more serious individual has gotten the respect, but it is interesting that what I felt as a green rookie, who I could approach, and maybe that's because not everybody had cell phones and quick Facebook Messenger and things like that. You literally now have access to a lot more people and able to pick their brains, and it's a much more interactive community, which I appreciate. And it's important to me that anybody in the version 1.0 still stands by me and looks out for me. I truly appreciate that. How this came about, I was talking trash to one of my tag partners, Jerome Hendricks. That is my boy. We were on Facebook just going back and forth, and a promoter, Alex DK, Pretty Fly, FPWA, he's like, yo, it looks like you got the itch again. I was like, I don't know. Got a lot of physical ailments going on here. I'm way older. And then we kept talking, and then I kind of went through my Rolodex of who I knew was still in the business, what they thought, people whose opinions mattered. Or, yeah, I mean, they're in the industry, they would know. And there's a few that I reached out to saying, is this a bad idea? One told me don't do it, but he's looking out for my health and kind of being who he is, which is always awesome. And actually, we talk about it now, and you can tell the guy just loves it. Yeah, he loves it. Whether I have no idea when his last match will be, but he joked that he would actually work me, and I told him I didn't want to tarnish his legacy. And that's a complete shoot. I have much respect, and I would hate to miss a spot or anything. One of my memories with him was how livid he was at me missing a spot with one of his workers. And it kind of put the ring work above where my health was at the time. So it rubbed me wrong at the time, but looking back at it, I just know the passion for the ring work that night. I don't think anybody parallels him. And he probably knows exactly who he is because I was just texting him the other day. When the ring work matters more than the people sometimes, that's a fine line. And that's some of the issues I had was I felt as a rookie that there wasn't a lot of care in the industry and there wasn't a lot of human elements to it. And I could have been wrong, completely wrong. But now I'm back. I'm in a good community. I do think Coastal Championship Wrestling is a good fit for me at this time. I think Pablo has my best interest in heart, which is awesome. And then I have my cats up in Tampa that I can always reach out to. David Mercury and Eddie Torres are still alive and kicking in the industry, doing their thing. They've revamped themselves, which is awesome. I'll still give Eddie crap for his gym shorts. But not really here to name drop too much. I believe I will in all these vlogs just because I think that's part of a peek behind the curtain is interesting. To the fans, all of us watch reality TV and we're captivated by it. So there's going to be that certain aspect. Other times I'm going to keep complete kayfabe, which means it's work for certain reasons. And again, you'll never know, but I do truly hope you're entertained. Follow the Blue Chip Bo Tayvian Made for This on Facebook. That's a page. I'll share some stuff there. Right now, I am unpopular on Facebook. I have many friend slots available. I really don't care if I know you in person or not. That's not going to be my filter yet. So go ahead and add me on there, Bo Tayvian. That's Tayvian on Facebook. If you have any interest in professional wrestling, any booking questions, etc., if you have interest in me in the ring, once COVID lifts and we're back in there, I hope to bring a revamped, bigger, leaner package with way better ring work. Because it's one thing you've had to look, but if you can't work, no. And currently right now, I mean, it's a complete shoot. My cardio in the ring is not good. I have plans to have Alex Ocean basically just give me heat for 10 minutes each night that we train. Just because I don't think as cosmetically pretty as I am right now, I don't think there's any comparison at all to taking bumps, hitting the ropes, selling to the crowd, and being totally alive in a squared circle. So that's what it takes. You have to be in the ring. You have to, when you're around the ring or watching YouTube clips, you have to be studying the game. And I just think a lot of the independents still don't take it as serious. I was hoping there was a new vibe to it, but in some manners, it's still the two worlds of there's guys that want to make it a profession and respect it, and then there's the world of they want to entertain and play for their ego in front of nobody and the adrenaline rush, and that's cool, but that's not for me. I'm going to take calculated measures on what shows I work, how I feel physically, and try to make this the best little window of whatever time I'm granted in the professional wrestling world. But I'm back, and it's going to be interesting, and I hope to keep you guys entertained. If you want me to talk on a certain topic, not so much person, I'd rather not do that. But if you want me to touch on a certain topic, or you want to know my favorite moves or workers that I have a story about, by all means, hit me up, ask me, whatever. I can't promise that I'll answer every last thing. I'm busy with real world stuff as well. Obviously, we're all dealing with this pandemic, so I hope you, yours, your family, everybody's safe. I hope none of you have been hit by it too drastically. I do fear there's economic consequences to it all, health consequences, etc. But I'm not here for that. I'm here to entertain. I'm back. This is version 3.0, Bo Tayvian, the Blue Chip, and we'll see where it goes. Thank you for tuning in.